if you look at a riff like this, it seems very, very complex, but there is only 3 ideas that are really important to understand to be able to play like this, and then you just need to really dive into all of those areas individually and get very, very good at them and continue to try to get better at them as you continue to play guitar. The 3 ideas are, first of all, the right hand picking, right hand technique, and your ability to just have a relaxed right hand, a relaxed wrist, and essentially just bounce your pick off of the strings and use a minimal amount of energy as you do so. Second idea is finger agility, your ability for your left hand to move across the fretboard fluently, and the ways that you get from one note to the next that make your riffs unique and interesting. The last idea is the notes that you actually play to play melodic riffs. There's only 7 notes that are used and can be related back to pretty much almost every single style of riff like this, and it gives it that metalcore sound. And it is the natural minor scale, also known as the Aeolian mode. The Aeolian mode, I can't say that, Aeolian mode, but I call it the metalcore scale because it is so commonly used in metalcore, and it's really based off of this low string as the root note of the scale. So the root note would be here. It would also be on the 5th fret here. It would also be on the 4th string open. There's other ones throughout too, but those are the main ones that you're gonna really worry about for the most part when playing simpler, more basic riffs that are based off of these bottom 3 strings. It's not until my students realize how simple it is to where they really gain the confidence that they need to be able to tell themselves and believe in themselves that they can eventually become good guitarists, because a lot of them just don't have a lot of people just don't have time to spend hours playing guitar. And the reality is it doesn't take hours. I mean, it takes some time. I would say probably 45 minutes a day on average for you to be able to progress and get better and eventually get to the point to where you want to be as far as a guitar player. But it doesn't take hours, and it's because it is so simple. And if you focus on these specific areas one at a time and eventually link them together, then that is when things all start to work out, and that's when you actually become good at playing riffs. And you can literally just pick up the guitar and play a riff. The riff that I played there, I've tried to play it a few times just because I suck when I'm playing on camera, but it was just off the top of my head. It wasn't like a riff that was premeditated whatsoever. Actually, I switched up the riff in halfway through filming it, and I was like, I like this riff better, and I just came up with it. That also gives you the ability to understand what is going on in the riffs that you actually enjoy from bands like Kill Switch, Bullet for My Valentine, Older Trivium. So in this video, what I want to do is just take those 3 ideas and write a riff real quick with you guys. I have not even thought about what we're going to write here, so this is all on the spot for me as well. So let's take 2 right hand picking technique ideas, which are going to be just basic down chugs, palm muted down chugs. So I got my palm, muting on these strings there, and then also gallops, which are going to be down, up, down. So when it comes to fretting and movement around the fretboard, we're going to use 2 different techniques. We're going to use slide, and then we're also going to use hammer-on. And then we're also going to use notes from the metalcore scale, which the notes on the 5th string, which when I teach this scale, I always start out with horizontal on the 5th string, and then we go into learning all of basically the entire scale horizontally, which is super simple. And then we get into the 7 modes: Ionian, Locrian, Aeolian, which is the metalcore scale, and then there's other ones too. So anyways, we have the entire fretboard to use as far as notes go, as long as we know which notes we can play together that make melodic sounding riffs. So let's go ahead and we'll start out with a hammer-on between the 8th fret and the 12th fret with some just palm muted down chugs right after. And then after that, we'll slide from the 7th fret to the 8th fret on the 5th string as well. And then we'll do some gallops immediately after that. So far what we have. And then after that, let's go ahead. We'll just do that 2 times through. And we'll jump over to the second and third fret position, 3rd string, 2nd fret, the 4th string on the 4th fret, and then we'll play also the open 5th string. And I don't know if I mentioned this, I'm in drop C tuning. This is this idea and the scale that we're using is specific to drop tuning. It translates to standard tuning, but everything that we're doing kind of shifts over. It's a little bit different. So what we're doing here is in drop tuning. So anyway, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 4th fret, 4th string, open 5th string, and we'll just play like an arpeggio, like single pick, kind of like a chord. And we'll do that 4 times. So far what we have. What is it? And then I'm thinking what we'll do is, I didn't mention power chords as far as something that we're going to use in this, but we are going to use power chords. And when you're playing in drop tuning, I don't know if you guys know much about power chords. Power chord is essentially just a perfect 5th interval. So it's like 7 frets away. So here to here, if I was to play those notes together, that would be a power chord, so I can play it here instead of here. So with drop tuning, because of the fact that the low string is tuned down 1 full step, that means that normally we'll go to the 8th fret because that's where we're going to play. Normally a power chord in standard tuning would be like this. It would be, the 8th fret would be the root note, 2 frets over on the string above would be the 5th note, the 2nd note of the chord. But because of the fact that we're in drop tuning, this note shifts over to the 8th fret, so all we got to do is bar. And we can even add in the note on that 5th string, which would be an octave of that root note that we're playing. So we'll just strum some power chords right after. So the entire riff right now so far is... And this sounds to me like a riff in 4/4 timing, which if you don't know much about timing, 4/4 is common time. I'm not going to get into all of that stuff. We do cover that a bit in riff mechanics. We cover all the essential stuff from like tone and tunings to string gauges and amp settings to all of the stuff that we discussed as far as all the right hand techniques and the left hand finger agility ideas and the metalcore scale as well. And then we actually write an entire song together. That's what riff mechanics is. You can join if you want to click the link below. If you click the link below, you can join Riff Mechanics today. But anyways, that is just a simple way to write a riff and just how to use the essential ideas, the 3 essential concepts that really truly matter for playing this style of metal. So I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you got something out of it. If you like this style of video, if you like just the kind of simple, let's write a riff together, let's take some ideas and write a riff, let me know in the comments